Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most iconic modern American coins ever produced, the United States Kennedy half dollar. First introduced in the 1960s, this coin quickly became a symbol of national remembrance and pride. While millions of Kennedy half dollars have been minted over the decades, only a select few stand out as truly rare and incredibly valuable. Certain dates, mint marks, special compositions, and exceptional conditions have transformed ordinary 50-cent pieces into coins worth thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. In this video, we will explore the top 6 most valuable Kennedy half dollars and uncover what makes them so special in the numismatic world. So let's get started. First up, the Bawu Kennedy half dollar with the P mint mark, especially in fine condition. While many people assume that modern half dollars are common and only worth face value, certain examples can attract strong interest from collectors, particularly when condition, mint mark, and unique characteristics come together. In this video, we'll explore the history, features, rarity, and current market value of the Bawu P Kennedy half dollar and uncover why this coin continues to capture attention in the numismatic world. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was created to honor his legacy, and it quickly became one of the most recognized coins in American history. Initially struck in 90% silver in 1964 and then 40% silver from 1965 to 1970, the composition changed to a copper-nickel clad format beginning in 1971 for regular circulation strikes. The half dollar was no longer widely used in everyday commerce. Most half dollars produced during the 1980s were saved in bank vaults or collected directly from rolls and mint sets. The Bawu P Kennedy half dollar was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had only recently resumed using the P mint mark on coins starting in Bading. This makes the presence of the P mint mark an important identifying feature for collectors examining coins from this era. The Bawu P Kennedy half dollar features the iconic left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The word Liberty curves along the top edge, while In God We Trust appears below the portrait, and the date 1985 is positioned at the bottom. The small P mint mark is located just below the truncation of Kennedy's neck, clearly indicating its Philadelphia origin. On the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, the coin displays the presidential seal, featuring a heraldic eagle with a shield on its chest, an olive branch in one talon, and arrows in the other. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. In fine condition, this coin shows moderate wear. The high points of Kennedy's hair and cheek may appear smooth, and some finer details on the eagle's feathers may be lightly worn. However, the overall design remains clear and bold. Collectors often examine the strike quality, surface marks, and any potential mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, which can significantly increase value if present at first glance. The Bawu P Kennedy half dollar is not considered rare in terms of mintage, as millions were produced. However, true rarity in coin collecting often depends more on condition and preservation than sheer production numbers. Many Bawu P half dollars were either stored in rolls or entered circulation and accumulated contact marks and wear over time. Finding a well-preserved example in higher grades is more challenging, and coins certified in top mint state grades can command strong premiums. Even in fine condition, certain examples with exceptional eye appeal or unique mint errors can attract specialized collectors. The demand for Kennedy half dollars remains steady because of the coin's historical significance, recognizable design, and popularity among both beginner and advanced collectors. In standard fine condition, a typical Bawu P Kennedy half dollar generally holds a modest premium over face value, often ranging from around $203,000 depending on overall eye appeal and market demand. While this may not seem dramatic, values increase substantially in higher uncirculated grades. Certified mint state examples, especially those graded MS-65 or higher by major grading services, can reach prices ranging from $203,000 at auction, depending on quality and competition among bidders. Additionally, any verified mint error varieties or unusually high-grade specimens can push auction results even higher. Auction market trends fluctuate based on collector interest, grading population reports, and overall coin market conditions, so values can change over time. The Bawu P Kennedy half dollar. Careful inspection is essential. Always examine the coin under proper lighting to check for wear, scratches, and potential mint errors. If you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, consider having it evaluated or graded by a reputable third-party grading service. Professional grading can authenticate the coin and often increases buyer confidence in the marketplace. It's also wise to store your coins properly. Use protective holders or coin flips to prevent further wear and environmental damage. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can significantly reduce its value. Even a seemingly minor attempt to polish a coin can leave permanent marks that lower its desirability to serious collectors. The P. Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition may not be an immediate jackpot coin, but it remains an important piece of modern U.S. coinage history. Its connection to President Kennedy, its distinctive design, and the evolving collector market all contribute to its ongoing appeal. While most examples in circulated condition carry modest value, higher-grade specimens and rare-era varieties can achieve impressive auction prices in dollars. Next up, the Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that many people overlook but that continues to generate strong interest among collectors. While at first glance it may seem like just another modern-clad half-dollar, its value can vary dramatically depending on condition, strike quality, and collector demand. In this video, we'll explore the history, features, rarity, and auction market value of the Kennedy half-dollar in different conditions, and uncover why this coin deserves a closer look. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination in 1963. The coin quickly became a symbol of national remembrance and pride. Over the decades, its composition changed from 90% silver in 1964 to 40% silver between 1965 and 1970, and then to a copper-nickel-clad composition beginning in 1971 for circulation strikes. By 1995, half-dollars were no longer commonly used in everyday transactions. Most were produced primarily for collectors or stored in Federal Reserve vaults. The Kennedy half-dollar was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark on the obverse. The mintage for D was in the millions, meaning it is not rare in terms of sheer production numbers. However, as with many modern coins, true rarity often depends on condition and quality rather than mintage alone. The Kennedy half-dollar features the iconic left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The word Liberty arcs along the top rim, while "In God We Trust" is displayed below the portrait, and the date 1995 appears at the bottom. The D mint mark, located near the truncation of Kennedy's neck, confirms its origin at the Denver Mint. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the presidential seal. The heraldic eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. The shield on the eagle's chest represents protection, and the surrounding inscriptions read United States of America and half-dollar. In circulated conditions such as good or fine, the coin shows noticeable wear. Kennedy's hair details may appear flattened, and the eagle's feathers may lack sharpness. In extremely fine condition, more detail is visible, particularly in the hair and feather lines. In about uncirculated condition, only slight friction is visible on the highest points. In mint state grades, the coin retains full luster with no signs of circulation wear, and this is where values can rise significantly. High-grade specimens with strong strikes and minimal contact marks are especially desirable. Although millions of half-dollars were struck, finding one in pristine, high mint state condition is much more challenging than it may seem. Many coins from this era were stored in rolls, leading to contact marks and surface abrasions. As a result, top-graded examples certified by professional grading services can be scarce relative to the total mintage. Collector demand for Kennedy half-dollars remains strong due to the coin's historical significance and long-running series. Registry set collectors, who compete to assemble the highest graded collections, often drive up prices for coins graded MS66, MS67, or higher. Additionally, any coin displaying unusual mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can attract substantial premiums in the auction market. In lower circulated grades such as good or fine, the Kennedy half-dollar typically holds a value close to face value, often ranging from 50 cents to around price. In extremely fine or about uncirculated condition, the coin may bring between 1.2 million depending on eye appeal. The real jump in value appears in uncirculated mint state grades. Coins graded MS63 to MS65 may sell in the range of 1.2 million. Higher grades such as MS66 or MS67 can command prices from $1.2 million, especially in competitive auctions. Exceptionally well-preserved examples with superior luster and minimal marks have reached impressive results when certified and sold through major auction houses. Error coins or rare varieties can exceed these amounts, sometimes reaching into the high hundreds depending on rarity and demand. If you own a 1995 Kennedy half dollar, start by carefully examining its condition under proper lighting. Look for strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Even a lightly polished coin may lose much of its collector appeal. Consider submitting high-quality examples to a reputable third-party grading service for professional authentication and grading. Certified coins often sell for higher prices because buyers trust the assigned grade. Proper storage is also essential. Keep coins in protective holders, away from moisture and extreme temperatures, to preserve their condition over time. The 1995 Kennedy half dollar may appear ordinary, but its value can vary greatly depending on condition and quality. While circulated examples typically remain close to face value, high-grade uncirculated coins and rare error varieties can achieve surprisingly strong auction prices in dollars. The combination of historical significance, collector demand, and condition rarity makes this coin an interesting piece for both new and experienced numismatists. Next up, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, especially when it appears worn, toned, or even dirty. But sometimes, coins that look ordinary on the surface can carry surprising significance in the collector market. In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into the 1971 Kennedy half dollar struck without a mint mark, examining its history, features, rarity, and potential auction value in dollars, especially when found in circulated or dirty conditions. The year 1971 marked a major turning point for the Kennedy half-dollar series. From 1964 to 1970, the coin contained silver 90% silver in 1964 and 40% silver from 1965 through 1970. However, beginning in 1971, the United States Mint transitioned the half-dollar into a copper-nickel clad composition for regular circulation strikes. This change removed silver entirely from standard circulation issues, making 1971 the first year of the modern clad Kennedy half dollar. The 1971 half dollar without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, which is why the obverse appears blank in that area. Millions were produced, as the mint expected the coin to circulate widely. However, by the early 1970s, half dollars were already disappearing from everyday use. Many were saved, stored in rolls, or held by collectors, which affects how they are found today. The obverse of the 1971 Kennedy half dollar features the familiar left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The word Liberty curves around the top rim of the coin, while "In God We Trust" is displayed beneath the portrait. The date 1971 appears at the bottom. Because this coin was struck in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark present, which is completely normal for that year. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the presidential seal. A heraldic eagle dominates the center, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. A shield covers the eagle's chest, and above its head is a ring of stars. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollars surround the design. In dirty or heavily circulated condition, the coin may show dark toning, surface grime, or environmental staining. Dirt can sometimes obscure details, especially in Kennedy's hair and on the eagle's feathers. However, dirt alone does not mean the coin is damaged. In fact, natural toning and age-related discoloration can sometimes add character. What matters most is the remaining detail, absence of harsh cleaning, and overall eye appeal. The 1971 Philadelphia half dollar is not rare. Tens of millions were produced. However, the condition plays a critical role in determining rarity. Because many 1971 half dollars were stored in rolls, they often developed contact marks from rubbing against one another. As a result, finding a truly high-grade mint-state example with strong luster and minimal marks can be challenging. In dirty or circulated conditions, the coin itself is generally common. However, collectors closely examine 1971 half dollars for valuable error varieties. The most famous is the 1971 double die obverse, which shows noticeable doubling in the lettering, particularly in Liberty and In God We Trust. Coins with verified double die errors can command significant premiums in the auction market. Other mint errors, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks, also increase rarity and demand. Additionally, registry set collectors compete for top-graded examples certified by professional grading services. These high-grade coins are far scarcer than their large mintage numbers might suggest, which drives strong competition at auctions. In dirty, heavily circulated condition, a standard 1971 Kennedy half dollar without errors is typically worth close to face value, usually between 50 cents and different price depending on detail and eye appeal. In fine to extremely fine condition, values may range from 13 million. Uncirculated mint state examples can bring between 1.3 million in moderate mint state grades. However, coins graded MS-65 or higher can sell for $1.3 million, especially if they exhibit strong luster and minimal contact marks. The rare double die obverse variety has sold for hundreds and even over $1,000 in high grades, depending on the strength of the doubling and overall condition. Auction results vary depending on market demand and coin quality, but certified high-grade or rare error examples consistently outperform standard circulated pieces. If you discover a dirty 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, resist the urge to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the coin's surface and significantly reduce its value. Many collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they show natural toning or dirt. If necessary, consult a professional before attempting any conservation. Examine the coin carefully under magnification to check for double die features or other mint errors. Pay close attention to the lettering and date. If you suspect you have a rare variety or a high-grade example, consider submitting it to a reputable third-party grading service for authentication and grading. Proper storage is also important. Keep coins in protective holders, away from humidity and extreme temperatures, to prevent further environmental damage. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark may not contain silver, and in dirty circulated condition, it often appears ordinary. While most examples are worth only modest premiums, high-grade specimens and rare double die varieties can achieve impressive auction prices in dollars. The key is careful inspection and knowledge. So before you overlook that old half-dollar, take a closer look. You might be holding more than just 50 cents. Next up, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, especially in circulated condition. While many people assume that modern half-dollars are common and only worth face value, the truth is that certain examples, depending on condition, quality, and possible mint errors, can attract strong collector interest and surprising auction prices. In this video, we'll explore the history, design, rarity, and real market value of the 1972 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar and see why collectors still search for this coin today. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy followed his assassination in 1963. The coin immediately became one of the most collected coins in American history. From 1964 through 1970, the coin contained silver, first at 90% and then at 40%. However, beginning in 1971, the United States Mint removed silver entirely from regular circulation half-dollars and transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, so the absence of a mint mark is normal and confirms its origin. Although millions of these coins were produced, half-dollars were already seeing limited circulation in the early 1970s. Many were stored in banks or saved by collectors, which means circulated examples today often show moderate wear but remain widely available. The obverse of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar features the left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The word Liberty stretches across the top of the coin, partially hidden by Kennedy's head. The phrase "In God We Trust" appears below the portrait, and the date 1972 is located at the bottom. Since this coin was minted in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark visible on the obverse. The reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, showcases the presidential seal. A powerful heraldic eagle is displayed in the center, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. A shield covers the eagle's chest, symbolizing strength and unity. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions "United States of America" and half-dollar. In circulated condition, the coin will show visible wear on the highest points. Kennedy's hair above the ear and the cheek area may appear flattened. On the reverse, the eagle's breast feathers and leg details may show smoothing from years of handling. However, even in circulated grades such as fine or extremely fine, the overall design remains bold and attractive. Collectors often pay attention to surface quality, original luster traces, and any unusual striking characteristics. The 1972 Philadelphia half-dollar is not considered rare. Tens of millions were struck. However, rarity in coin collecting often depends more on condition and special varieties than on mintage alone. Circulated examples are common, but finding high-grade mint state coins with minimal contact marks can be much more challenging. Another factor that increases collector demand is the possibility of mint errors or varieties. Double die obverse examples, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks can significantly increase value. Collectors closely examine 1972 half-dollars for strong doubling in the lettering, especially in Liberty and In God We Trust. Verified error coins are far scarcer than regular issues and can command impressive prices at auction. Additionally, the Kennedy half-dollar series remains popular among collectors because of its historical significance and long-running design. Many collectors build complete date and mint collections, which keeps steady demand for even common dates like 1972, in standard circulated condition. A typical 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark is usually worth between 50 cents and about 1.4 million depending on overall detail and eye appeal. In higher circulated grades such as extremely fine, the value may range from 1.4 million. Uncirculated examples in lower mint state grades can sell for 1.4 million. In higher certified grades such as MS65 and above, prices can reach 1.4 million or more, especially if the coin has strong luster and minimal contact marks. Rare double die varieties or dramatic mint errors can push auction results into the $1.4 million, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. Auction prices fluctuate based on collector demand and grading populations, but certified high-grade or rare error examples consistently bring strong premiums compared to ordinary circulated coins. If you find a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in circulated condition, start by examining it carefully under good lighting. Look for sharp details in the lettering and check for signs of doubling. Use magnification to inspect the date and inscriptions. Even circulated coins can carry added value if they display a recognized variety or mint error. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce its value. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they show natural wear. If you believe your coin may be a high-grade example or a rare variety, consider submitting it to a reputable third-party grading service for professional evaluation. Proper storage is also important. Keep your coins in protective holders and store them in a dry environment to preserve their condition over time. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark may seem like an ordinary 50-cent piece, especially in circulated condition. However, its place in the early clad era of the Kennedy series makes it historically important. While most circulated examples carry modest premiums, high-grade specimens and rare mint error varieties can achieve impressive auction prices in dollars. The key to unlocking value is careful inspection and knowledge. Even a circulated coin can hold hidden potential if it has unique characteristics or exceptional preservation. So the next time you come across a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, take a closer look. You might be holding more than just spare change. Next up, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar struck at the Philadelphia Mint, focusing on its rarity in different conditions and its potential big value in dollars on the collector market. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963. The coin quickly became one of the most recognized and collected coins in American history. From 1964 through 1970, the half-dollar contained silver, but beginning in 1971, the United States Mint eliminated silver from regular circulation issues and adopted a copper-nickel clad composition. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, so the absence of one is completely normal. By 1974, half-dollars were no longer widely used in everyday commerce. Many were saved in rolls or stored in bank vaults, which influenced how they are found today. Although millions were produced, condition plays a major role in determining true rarity and value. The obverse of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar features the left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The inscription Liberty appears along the top edge, partially covered by Kennedy's hair. The national motto In God We Trust is displayed below the portrait, and the date 1974 is located at the bottom. Since this coin was struck in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark present near the date. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the presidential seal. The central image shows a heraldic eagle with a shield on its chest, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. Above the eagle is a cluster of stars, and surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar. In lower circulated conditions such as good or fine, the coin shows noticeable wear. Kennedy's hair details may appear smooth, and the eagle's feathers may be flattened. In extremely fine condition, more detail remains visible, particularly in the hair strands and feather lines. Uncirculated examples show only light friction on the highest points. In mint state condition, the coin retains its original mint luster with no wear from circulation. The difference in value between circulated and high mint state examples can be dramatic. In terms of mintage, the 1974 Philadelphia half-dollar is not considered rare. Tens of millions were struck. However, high-grade examples are much scarcer than the mintage numbers suggest. Many coins stored in rolls developed contact marks and surface abrasions over time, making pristine specimens harder to find. Collector demand increases significantly for coins graded in high mint state levels such as MS65, MS66, or above. Registry set collectors often compete for the finest known examples, driving auction prices higher. Additionally, error varieties add another layer of rarity. The 1974 double die obverse is one of the more well-known varieties in the Kennedy series. Coins showing strong doubling in the lettering, especially in Liberty and In God We Trust, can command substantial premiums. Other mint errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks also attract strong interest. In circulated condition, a standard 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark is generally worth between 50 cents and around 1.5 million depending on detail and eye appeal. In higher circulated grades such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, values may range from 1.5 million. Uncirculated examples in lower mint state grades can sell for 1.5 million. In higher certified grades such as MS65, prices may range from 1.5 million depending on luster and surface quality. Exceptional examples graded MS66 or higher have reached several $100s at auction. The rare 1974 double die obverse variety can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 in top condition, depending on the strength of the doubling and market demand. Auction results vary based on grading, eye appeal, and collector competition, but certified high-grade and error coins consistently achieve the strongest prices. If you find a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, carefully examine it under good lighting. Look for sharp details and check the lettering closely for signs of doubling. Even circulated coins can hold extra value if they display a recognized variety or mint error. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they show natural toning. If you believe your coin may be a high-grade example or a rare variety, consider submitting it to a reputable third-party grading service for authentication and grading. Store your coins in protective holders and keep them in a dry, stable environment to preserve their condition for the future. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark may appear ordinary at first glance, but its true value depends heavily on condition and potential varieties. While most circulated examples are worth modest premiums, high-grade mint state coins and rare double die errors can bring impressive auction prices in dollars. This coin represents an important chapter in the modern clad era of the Kennedy half-dollar series. With careful inspection and knowledge, collectors can uncover hidden values even in coins that seem common. So before you overlook that 1974 half-dollar, take a closer look. It might be worth far more than you expect. Next up, the Young City Kennedy half-dollar in circulated condition and exploring its history, features, rarity, and potential auction value in dollars. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. The coin quickly became one of the most iconic pieces of U.S. currency. From 1964 through 1970, the coin contained silver, first at 90% and then at 40%. However, starting in 1970, the U.S. Mint transitioned the half-dollar to a copper-nickel-clad composition for regular circulation issues. The 1970 Kennedy half-dollar was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark on the obverse. By the late 1970s, half-dollars were no longer widely used in everyday commerce. Many were stored in Federal Reserve vaults or saved by collectors in rolls and mint sets. Although the mintage for ELCCD was substantial, the coin's circulation patterns and storage methods have influenced how examples are found today. The obverse of the ELCCD Kennedy half-dollar features the familiar left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The inscription Liberty appears across the top rim, partially covered by Kennedy's hair. The motto In God We Trust is located below the portrait, and the date 1977 appears at the bottom. The D Mint mark is positioned just to the right of Kennedy's neck truncation, clearly identifying it as a Denver Mint issue. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the presidential seal. The heraldic eagle stands proudly in the center, holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. A shield covers the eagle's chest, and above it is a ring of stars. The inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar frame the design. In circulated condition, the coin will show visible wear on the high points. Kennedy's hair above the ear and the cheek area often appear flattened. On the reverse, the eagle's breast feathers and leg details may show smoothing. However, even in circulated grades such as fine or extremely fine, the overall design remains bold and recognizable. Collectors also examine surface marks, strike quality, and any unusual features that might indicate a mint error. The United Kennedy half-dollar is not considered rare. Millions were struck at the Denver Mint. However, circulated examples that retain strong detail and original surfaces are more desirable than heavily worn or damaged coins. True rarity often becomes more apparent in higher mint state grades, where clean, well-struck examples with minimal contact marks are harder to find. Collector demand for Kennedy half-dollars remains steady because of the coin's historical significance and the popularity of the series. Many collectors build complete data mint sets, which maintains demand for coins like the low-mintage. Additionally, any coin displaying mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can command strong premiums. Error coins are significantly scarcer than regular issues and often generate competitive bidding at auctions. In circulated condition, a standard EOCCB Kennedy half-dollar is typically worth between 50 cents and about price depending on where and I appeal. In higher circulated grades such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, the value may range from 1.6 million. Uncirculated examples begin to show stronger premiums. Coins graded in lower mint state levels, such as MS63 or MS64, may sell for 1.6 million. Higher grades such as MS65 and above can bring 1.6 million depending on luster and surface quality. Exceptional high-grade examples certified by major grading services can reach several $100s at auction, especially if collector competition is strong. Rare error varieties can exceed these amounts significantly, depending on the nature and visibility of the error. If you own a United Kennedy half-dollar in circulated condition, begin by carefully examining the coin under good lighting. Look for strong remaining detail in Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers. Use magnification to check for doubling in the lettering or date, as well as any unusual striking characteristics. The coin, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce its value. Even circulated coins are more desirable with original surfaces. If you believe your coin may be a high-grade example or displays a potential error, consider submitting it to a reputable third-party grading service for authentication and grading. Professional certification often increases buyer confidence and auction performance. Store your coins in protective holders and keep them in a stable, dry environment to preserve their condition over time. The United Kennedy half-dollar in circulated condition may not contain silver, and at first glance it may seem common. However, its value depends on condition, quality, and the presence of rare varieties. While most circulated examples carry modest premiums, high-grade uncirculated coins and verified error pieces can achieve impressive auction prices in dollars. The Kennedy series, knowledge and careful inspection are the keys to discovering hidden value. So before you overlook that United half-dollar, take a closer look at you might be holding a coin that's worth more than you realize. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed learning about the United Kennedy half-dollar and its potential value, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting coin discoveries. You never know which coin in your pocket could be worth big money. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video.